guys, and welcome. Today we're going to do a classic, a Saja Boys, kind of like a banner, just the letters and the logo and stuff. Well, not the logo, but the lettering for the Saja Boys. And we're going to be using these two colors, the very bright yellow and the very saturated and beautiful pink. Saja Boys has 7 letters, so I actually do recommend that you get your 7 kind of like little balls of this yarn of whatever color you want to kind of like stick into the actual reference and the original color, but it's up to you. I always do recommend. The reason why I divide the little balls is because I do not want to create waste, and it just helps me not really warp my project. And since it's going to be like a banner, horizontal banner, we're going to kind of like need that stability so that it doesn't warp and it doesn't mess up our letters. So for this, we're going to start by chaining 61 chains. And I am going to be using a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook with some cable attached because it's a longer project. So I just want it to fit on my crochet hook because we're going to be using a Tunisian simple stitch. So this is the front of our chains. We're going to turn it onto our back. And if you'll notice the back because you feel like little bumps if you run your fingers through it. And we're going to insert our hook onto those bumps right here. We're going to skip this very first bump because it corresponds to this very first loop. So we're going to go straight to the second one. Just like that, we're just going to insert, yarn over, and pull. Once again, you just find that little bump, insert, and pull. And we just continue to do all the way down this row, and we should end up with 61 loops on our hook. So now once you have all of your 61 chains onto your hook, we're going to do a return pass, which is unique for Tunisian simple stitch. We go forwards and we also go backwards within one row. So we're going to chain 1, and how we do that is we're going to yarn over just like that and pull through that very last loop on our hook. That's going to be our chain 1. It's going to be true for the rest of all of the rows for this project. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2 of our loops. 1 and 2. And we just grab our yarn, pull through 2, pull through 2, all the way down our row. So now that your row should look just like this, we're going to start our very second row, and for that we're going to grab our previous row, pull it apart, and if you see this little strands of yarn, we're going to insert our hook onto those, yarn over, and pull. Always remember that this is considered one stitch, so we're going to do a total of 5 stitches. And one more, just like that. And then we get to grab one of these little balls, and we're going to introduce our new color. It looks so beautiful and bright. So we're just going to insert our hook onto that very front loop only. We're going to yarn over with our new color, and that's how we introduce a new color. So we just insert our hook, and I like to move my tail back and forth so that it catches with my working yarn. And one more for a total of 3. So now we were using our pink, we just drop it, we grab our yellow, we pull. We're going to do 6 stitches. At this point, now we should be careful with not tangling our yarns. We have 6. We grab our next one. introduce it just like we did before. Once again, keeping our colors in check, and we want to do 13 yellow stitches after these 2 pink stitches. After our 13 stitches, we grab one more of this beautiful pink and we do 1 stitch, and just like before, we keep it in check so that we can continue. We're going to do 13 more yellow stitches after this pink stitch. We grab our next victim and we do 2 stitches with this beautiful pink color. At this point, we are at the letter J. Not all the letters are represented here at the very first or the very second row, but most of them are. And then after these 2 stitches, we're going to do 11 yellow stitches. After this, we're going to do 3 pink stitches. And then 2 yellow stitches. And I remember that I told you that we are just going to use the very front loop for this edge. We're going to do actually both of the loops. Yarn over and pull, and that is the end of our second row. And then for our return pass, we're going to chain 1 onto the very last loop on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2. And this is our rule for color changing. So whenever we have 2 different color stitches on our hook, your first one and your second one, we're going to use that second color stitch to pull through. We were using our yellow, so we're going to drop it. We're going to grab our pink, yarn over, pull through that yellow, pull through that pink. And then we continue to pull through 2, 1 and 2. And once again, we change colors. Yarn over, pull through pink, pull through that yellow. And this is actually everything that you need to know. So we just continue all the way down our row. So now that we have finished our second row, this is actually everything that you need to know for, your color changing, your color introduction. And this is actually where I leave the explanation. I know it doesn't look like anything, but trust the process. It will look very, very good at the end. So I leave you with a time lapse, and of course down below I always leave the link of the pattern that I'm following, or you can always take a screenshot of the picture on screen.